Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Virgo July 2022 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. For those of you who are stopping by for the first time, and welcome, and hi to the subscribers. You know I always love to see you. Actually, I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for Virgoans from different parts of the world over the course of the last month, and if you'd like to have a one-on-one clairvoyant experience with me, just check out the information that's in the description box below, and the pricing is on the web link to my website, and we can manage other currencies as well for your particular country if PayPal accepts it. Now, we're going to take 5 cards for you now, and let me just see. Look, this is a deck that you probably haven't seen, and you probably won't see much of it again because it's out of print and the developer is not doing any more. They want to go and do other things. There's death. What a stark image. I think you're going to agree with me that the imagery on these cards is actually something rather special, you know. There's a 2 of coins. Quite interesting. And so, I mean, we do from time to time, don't we? Want to go and do different things in our life. We don't want to get stuck in a rut, and I think that they thought that the 5 of coins, 2 of coins, 5 of coins, death. Gee, this looks like it's going to be a fascinating month for you. And look, I'm not going to give anything away, but this is looking quite auspicious for you, you know. And as I say, the developer is not doing any more, and so this is it. There's the King of Swords. I wonder who that might be. Well, we'll find out in just a second. And there is the Page of Coins. Probably one of my favorite cards. Oh, they're all my favorites. I have to tell you, they're all good. They're all good. Even the bad ones. They all have a good side. See, there's no bad planets either. Saturn and Mars are seen as being bad, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. But anyway, as is our practice, why don't you come and sit down here with me? We'll have a good close look at the imagery on the cards together while I do the reading for you. Now, who wants to talk to my Virgo friend here? Let's have a look. Maybe there's 2 of coins. That seems to be asking me to pass on the messages for you. Well, what have we here? Well, maybe your hands are full, but maybe there's something else that you want. This card is something of a juggling act. Maybe you have to put something down for a while to free up the space. Maybe you have to put the thing you have on your head so you can grab the desired thing. Now, this is an energy of feeling sort of wobbly, but in a good sense, a good type of wobbly, like a champagne type of wobbly. Now, it's also a card of restriction and growth in some respect, of Jupiter and Saturn together. Jupiter is about expansion and floating. Saturn is lead. Jupiter is expansion. Saturn is skeletal. But sometimes you have to break your life down to 2 suitcases you can get on the boat carrying you across the sea to expand your life in a different kind of way. Now, the planets of Jupiter and Saturn came to me because the astrology of this card, where it is placed with this page and opposite the King of Swords diagonally, is that of Jupiter ruling the first decan of Capricorn, the 23rd of December to the 2nd of January. Saturn rules Capricorn. Now, what we have here is that there's the situation there where this is potentially inharmonious because Jupiter, as you know, is all about expansion and Capricorn is about conservatism and practicality. But because we're at the 2 and we're just one after the ace, we're very high up on the suits tree, I think that things work out very well for you. So it's time, I think, for you to be going with the flow here. There is some change and transformation around. There is movement, flux, having a few ups and downs, but growth through change. I think you'll be quite busy and doing some multitasking, and it's possible that you'll have something of a heavy workload, but you will be enjoying your work. And I think there is also coming along a welcome change as you move into a better phase in your life. Jupiter, the planet symbolizing luck and expansion, indicates that the change is going to bring luck and enrich your life. And the new will bring more stability and security. That's the Capricorn aspect with it. Now, change is always necessary when the old falls out of equilibrium, isn't it? Change shakes you up and wakes you up. But nevertheless, this is a time when you need to learn to go with the flow in your life and trust in the process of change so that you will find harmony and balance. Now, there's nothing financially or materially set in stone at the moment, so that's good. So there's the opportunity there, but without the risk of loss. But this does remind you to make sure, I'm afraid to say, that your day-to-day affairs, your personal affairs, are in order, because this is very much an energy of good management of your practical affairs and of your money. Now, it might sound like go over like a lead balloon, but getting on top of bills and chores is just as important as pursuing more joyful activities, I suppose. Look, your life is subject to a constant change, which allows you to grow, extending and expanding you, and ultimately enriching you. So give yourself up to the transformation with trust. Now, what internal or external changes are going on in your life? Where are you still clinging? And say this to yourself: I trust in the harmony of my life and in the flow of my life, because every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. But you can worry about things sometimes, can't you? So let's have a look at it. Well, I mean, that seems to, in some respects, that seems to be part of your nature. Let's have a look at this Five of Coins. Now, this is in the same suit, and this is Mercury ruling the first decan of Taurus, 20th to the 30th of April. But here we have the speed and fluidity of Mercury being weighed down by the slow, heavy, fixed earth sign of Taurus. Now, the fives can be associated with instability after temporary stability. This is change coming through again. But when these changes come through, don't see them as being setbacks. Don't see them as being a reason for you to lose faith in things. Don't see it as a reason to be pessimistic. Rather, this energy, I think, is talking about this being, in some respects, a time for soul searching by you. Your soul self is beckoning you to reconnect to your spiritual self by regaining your faith and strength, leading to transformation and spiritual growth, as well as the material opportunities that are coming your way. Now, it gets down to the bare bones here, really, as to what is true wealth. Now, material wealth can bring freedom and security. And people do say that money doesn't buy happiness. Well, my opinion is that they are obviously shopping in the wrong store if they think that. It provides opportunity, freedom, choice, money. And this is something that is building in your life. But material wealth can also trap you in its structure, making you vulnerable to worldly mishaps. The riches of inner wealth are your spiritual strength and the strong love in your heart. That can't be taken from you. Inner wealth brings self-love and an inner freedom separate from the material desires. Now, this change can, unsurprisingly unsurprisingly with this card dealing with change here, can bring upheaval and changes to lifestyle, finances, health, and relationships. Anything that you think is solid and stable could be at risk. It's time for shedding things that are not good for you. You really are a child playing out life on the world stage, and The unfortunate reality of life is that sometimes misfortune and struggle, well, they are just in the script of life, but they are opportunities giving you the ability to expand yourself spiritually and physically and mentally. Remember, spirit is always there, guiding you through life's journey. Faith in spirit sometimes is the only tool you possess. Is there something actually that you think poses a threat to your overall security? Well, that's that Taurus aspect to it. Now, this could be an unexpected expense, job worries, or maybe even a disruption in your family life. Well, you have to recognize that worrying, firstly, does nothing, and secondly, can, by you not taking action because you're sitting around worrying, actually make things work. So what do you know? I say do this. Give it to God if you're worried about something. Hand it over to God. Say, please help me. What should I do about this? And I guarantee you, within a couple of days, the intuition will come back to you. So I think that you are ready now to look at your situation as it is. You have an opportunity to free yourself by initiating the necessary discussion, either with partners or with yourself. And only clear and open communication will help progress come about. And now, ask yourself this: in what areas or situations are you not clear and decisive enough? With which people do you need to clarify things? Say this to yourself: I am ready to look at my life as it is and trust in the process of resolving my fears. I am straightening out my life. Yes, a lot of change coming around for you this month. This is another harbinger of it. But it's good. It's good. I'm going to be interested in things anyway, that's for sure. Now, what have we got on here? Look, if you want growth, then you are, in a sense, looking at this, you are in a sense going to need to decay. It is compost that fertilizes the garden, isn't it? It is the dying of the old that makes way for the young. Now, that's probably little comfort when something you love is being taken away from you, but if you are seeking transformation, the first step is going to be clearing the way of everything that is not working. Now, we have both the decay of what has been left to rot, and we have the mushrooms and flowers said only to grow in graveyards, don't we? Well, this is the child of the great transformers, the lord of the gate of death, and it is Mars ruling Scorpio. But Mars here, the planet of fiery energy in its lowest form, which is necessary to provide the impulse to change. So we see here, it's almost a sense of death and resurrection. It's definitely transformation coming through here, and you becoming free of old ensnarements, endings, letting go of emotional attachments to things. In some respects, it's almost the end of an era or a cycle that's going on here with you. There are old relationships that are demanding to be disintegrated. This process could be bound together with painful experiences. However, you having drawn this card first, that says to me that you are ready for this. The act of letting go, difficult as it may be, is going to liberate you. Our death shows two faces, one destroying and tearing down, and the other freeing you from old bonds which have become confining, preventing life. Which of these aspects will predominate depends on your attitude at this time. Any desire to hold on to or cling to old bonds will cause their death to appear that much more agonizing. There is something in your life that is dying, dissolving, or disintegrating, whether it be a structure you have created, a pattern, a habit, or a way of thinking about yourself and the world. Now, this is necessary for new beginnings and positive transformation in your life. This is a period of great transformation and facing your darkest fears. But the darkest hour is just before the dawn, and in order to grow and abandon the old, death is your protection against stagnation. You are being forced to leave behind what you have outgrown. This is really about facing your fears, I think, and breaking limits. You need to grow to learn your life's lessons. You are now ready to make the necessary changes in your life, I think. Accept any pain that may come with the loss of the old. And ask yourself, to what outdated relationships or situations are you clinging? Say this to yourself: I let go of people and situations with ease and dignity. Every ending signifies the new beginning. I now say yes to death and yes to myself. And the reason why this is going to be so good for you is because it leads to a period of such fertility, such energy, such nutrition, emotional, spiritual, mental, physical nutrition that's being indicated here by this Page of Wands, the energy that's just leaping up to me and which is saying, look, this is such a wonderful time now. I think that the people around you that are going to be important are Taurus, Gemini, and Aries. Now these court cards, of course, can be male and female, but I call her the princess of the echoing hills, the rose of the palace of the earth. This is a woman, I think, who is beautiful and strong, pregnant with life, generous, kind, and benevolent. There's a lot of birth around here, so I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't hear of pregnancy or something like this. This is somebody who is, now this could well be applying to you, someone who is at this time kind and benevolent, following their own will or true purpose in life, or it could have been one of those other signs I mentioned. So this card is about getting in touch with that most important aspect and protecting it. Now this can refer to a physical pregnancy. It can also refer to the birth of ideas, the creation of things, getting things moving and happening. And it represents, I think, a very productive time for you after what has been a barren stretch, I think you might call it. Marriage is around here. This is very good for people involved in domestic pursuits, home carers, rather than people who are necessarily in a outside formal career. Something new is entering your life, so prepare yourself. But we've seen this here. So what must you do in order to be ready for something new to come into your life? Breathe gently. Close your eyes and feel the quality of newness now entering your life. And say, I am now ready for the new beauty in my life. That takes us finally, I think, doesn't it, to whom? Who's this? Oh, look at that vibe. Well, this is really very much about the intellect of this card. It's almost as if it's such an intellect that you forget where you are and almost levitate. It's just the intellect of the intellect. People important to you, I think, are going to be Gemini and Taurus. Why do I say that? He is the lord of winds and breezes. Taurus and Gemini I'm getting here, because I think what you're going to have is the energy of the mind in Gemini with the influence and the stability and determination of Taurus. You're going to be, I'm going to refer to it as a man, but my previous comment about court cards holds. But this is a man who is active, clever, skillful, fierce and courageous, but very often doesn't reflect on what it is that they're doing. He represents the idea of attack, of the violent power of motion applied. He is the wind, the storm, and his moral qualities are skill, subtlety, and cleverness. He is fierce, delicate, courageous, but altogether consumed very often by his current idea, which comes to him by way of inspiration without kind of really thinking all that deeply about it. But you, however, will be very goal-oriented, and I think you're going to be very ambitious. But you'll have flexible intellectual powers during this time, but there's going to be a great degree of passion around you at this. He knows where he is bound, and he will not rest until he arrives at his destination, and he has remarkable powers of concentration. Thoughts and ideas come to him with lightning speed, and he is a master of imaginative and flexible thinking, which he uses to achieve his goals. Now, his strong intellectual determination is brought together with a deep emotional perceptiveness. Only goals which are emotionally charged can fire up such a passion as is within him. And this is a time when your intellect, body, and spirit are in harmony. You will get a clear insight into a problem, and you'll be working quickly to set goals. And you won't let anything get in the way. This is, I think, going to be something of a restless period for you, but then we're getting these ideas of change coming through anyway. So there is, again, talk of transitioning, which is coming from this death card. See, there's no coincidences here. And trying to get somewhere else, either in your everyday life or in travel. But it's time to listen to your head rather than the heart. I actually get the feeling that he is somebody who's more comfortable in his head rather than expressing his feelings. But you do express your feelings well. And there's a restlessness in all the aspects of your life here. Maybe wanting to break free from the workplace. You're in a good position now to forge plans, to set goals, and bring them to fruition. But do you know your goal? Can you say what your goal is succinctly in one short sentence? And what happens once you achieve your goal? Well, imagine how you will best be able to enjoy your success. And say this to yourself at this time. I know my goal. And I know what I am working towards. Each goal is just a milestone on the way to my ultimate destination. Well, what a fascinating spread of cards for you. Well done. What a fascinating and uplifting month for you this is going to be. I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I did providing it to you. I certainly love seeing you each month, and I look forward to doing it. I can't wait to do the next one. And until the next time, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.